Ladies and gentlemen, I hear the cry of a soul that is weary, a heart that has carried the weight of yesterday into the arms of today, uncertain if strength will be enough to make it through. The pressures of life don't wait for permission. They don't knock gently and ask if now is a good time. They come like a flood, pressing against the walls of your mind, making you wonder if you'll ever catch your breath again. But in the midst of it all, there is a whisper that reminds you that even in the chaos, there is help. Even in the storm, there is stillness waiting to be found. Even in the breaking, there is something being built. It's easy to believe that you have to do it all alone, that you have to carry the burdens without complaint, hold everything together while you feel like you're falling apart. But you were never meant to be your own savior. You were never meant to be the source of your own strength. There is help, there is guidance, there is a presence that surrounds you even when you feel forgotten. Life has a way of making you think that if you don't have it all figured out, you're failing. That if you stumble, you'll never recover. But can I remind you that grace is present in the stumbling? That even in your moments of weakness, there is a power greater than your own working things out for your good. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the sum total of your worst days. There is more in you than what your struggle is trying to convince you of. Every tear you've cried has not been wasted. Every sleepless night has not gone unnoticed. Every silent battle, every hidden scar, every moment you've pressed forward when everything in you wanted to give up, it has all been seen. You may not feel like you have the strength for another day, but you are not standing in your own strength alone. There is help, even when you don't see it. There is a way, even when the path looks impossible. There is a plan unfolding, even when all you see is brokenness. You don't have to know how it's all going to work out. You don't have to have the answers to every question. All you need to do is take the next step, even if it's shaky, even if it's uncertain, even if it's just the simple act of breathing and deciding not to give up today. Because today there is help. Today there is a strength greater than your own carrying you forward. Today you are not forgotten. Maybe you've been trying to be strong for everyone else, carrying the weight of responsibility, trying to be everything to everybody while feeling like there's nothing left for you. But can I remind you that even you need help, even you need rest, even you need to be poured into. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to figure it all out today. There is grace enough for this moment. Let yourself lean into the help that is already surrounding you. Let yourself be reminded that you are not walking alone. Let yourself breathe in the truth that even on the hardest days, there is a way being made. Strength is rising in you even now. Hope is not as far away as it seems. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize. You are stronger than you feel. You are held even when you feel like you are slipping. There is help for you today. Not just for the big things, but for the small moments too. For the moments when your heart feels heavy and you need the reminder that you are loved. For the moments when your mind is overwhelmed and you need the peace that quiets the storm. For the moments when you feel like you are at the end of yourself and you need to be reminded that there is still more ahead. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are seen, you are known, and you are being helped in ways Bayo. There is something about the weight of life that makes you believe you have to carry it all by yourself. From an early age, you may have been taught that strength means standing tall, never bending, never breaking. You may have been conditioned to believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that if you let someone see you struggle, it somehow means you're failed. So you do what you've always done. You push through. You smile when you want to cry. You say you're fine when your soul is screaming for relief. But deep down, you know you can't keep going like this. What if true strength isn't about how much you can carry, but about knowing when to let go? What if the strongest thing you could do today is admit that you need help? There is power in surrender, power in recognizing that you were never meant to do this alone. The weight you've been carrying, the burden that keeps you up at night, the endless list of things you're trying to fix, control, or hold together, it's too much for one person. And that's not a sign of failure, that's a sign of being human. Strength is not about pretending everything is okay when it isn't. Strength is not about forcing yourself to push through when your soul is weary. Strength is about knowing when to pause, when to exhale, when to say, I need help. But surrender is hard when you've been taught that asking for help means losing control. That somehow, if you're not the one holding everything together, it will all fall apart. But can I tell you something? Sometimes things need to fall apart so that they can be rebuilt the right way. Sometimes you need to let go so that you can receive what is meant for you. Surrender doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're making space for something greater. It means you're allowing yourself to be carried when you're too tired to walk. It means you're choosing peace over pressure, trust over anxiety, and grace over guilt. It means realizing that you don't have to figure it all out today, that it's okay to take a breath, to step back, to let the help that is already available to you do what you cannot do on your own. You don't have to be the hero of every story. You don't have to be the one who always has the answers, the solutions, the strength to keep pushing forward without a break. Even the strongest warriors know when to rest. Even the greatest leaders know when to ask for guidance. Even the most powerful forces in this world are sustained by something greater than themselves. Look at your life and ask yourself, what are you holding on to that is keeping you from receiving the help you need? What burdens have you convinced yourself you have to carry alone? What areas of your life are crying out for surrender, for release, for the kind of help that brings peace instead of pressure? This is your reminder that you don't have to be the one to fix everything. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to keep pushing through exhaustion, pretending you're okay when you're not. There is help available. There is strength beyond your own. There is peace waiting for you the moment you decide to surrender the weight and trust that you were never meant to carry it alone. Help doesn't always look the way you expect it to. You may have a picture in your mind of how things should unfold, how the breakthrough should come, how the answer should arrive. You may be waiting for a grand moment, a sign so clear that it leaves no room for doubt. But what if the help you need is already around you, just in a different form than what you imagined? What if the delay isn't a denial but a redirection? What if the closed door is actually protection? Sometimes we are so fixed on how we think help should come that we overlook the ways it is already present. We pray for strength, but instead of feeling an instant surge of power, we find a friend calling at just the right time to check in. We ask for guidance, and instead of a loud voice telling us exactly what to do, we receive a small nudge in our spirit, a feeling that tells us to move or to wait. We want immediate resolution, but instead we are given the patience to endure and the wisdom to navigate the journey. Help often shows up in ways that challenge our expectations. It may come through a detour that saves you from something you didn't even see coming. It may come through a situation that forces you to slow down when you are about to run yourself into the ground. It may come through a loss that eventually leads to a gain far greater than what you had before. The problem is, when you expect help to look a certain way, you risk rejecting the very thing that was sent to lift you up. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go according to plan, but later you realized it was for the best. Think about the moments when you felt like everything was falling apart, only to see it come together in a way you never expected. Help has a way of showing up disguised as disappointment, redirection, or even struggle. What feels like rejection might actually be an answered prayer. What feels like a delay might be the perfect alignment. What feels like a loss might be making room for something greater. If you are waiting for help today, open your eyes to the unexpected. Look around you. Pay attention to the small blessings, the quiet reassurances, the moments of peace that come when you least expect them. Help is not always loud. Sometimes it's the stillness in the storm. Sometimes it's the person who tells you exactly what you needed to hear even when they don't know what you're going through. Sometimes it's the failure that reroutes you to the path you were meant to take all along. You don't have to understand everything right now. You don't have to see the full picture. Just know that help is on the way, and in many ways it's already here. It's in the strength that got you out of bed this morning. It's in the peace that keeps finding you even when life is chaotic. It's in the way things keep working out even when you thought they wouldn't. It may not come the way you expected, but it will always come exactly when you need it. You are not your struggles. Life has a way of making you believe that the hardest moments define you. The mistakes you've made, the battles you've fought, the pain you've endured, or sometimes they try to write the story of who you are. But can I remind you of something? Your struggles are a chapter, not the entire book. Your failures are moments, not your identity. What you've been through may have shaped you, but it does not get to label you. It's easy to internalize the weight of what you've experienced. Maybe you've made choices you regret, and the enemy keeps reminding you of them. Maybe you've walked through a season of loss and you feel like joy will never find you again. Maybe life has thrown unexpected challenges your way and you feel like you're stuck in a cycle of hardship. But what if I told you that none of those things define you? What if I told you that even in your lowest moments, you are still worthy of love, still valuable, still full of purpose? Too often we let our struggles become our identity. We say, I am broken instead of I've been through brokenness. We say I am a failure instead of I made a mistake. We say I am unworthy instead of I am healing. The way you speak about yourself matters. The way you see yourself matters. If you continue to define yourself by your struggles, you will always feel trapped by them. But the moment you shift your perspective, the moment you start to see yourself through the lens of grace instead of guilt, everything changes. You are not what happened to you. You are not what they said about you. You are not the sum of your worst days. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are someone who has walked through fire and still stands. And if you are still standing, that means there is more ahead. There is still purpose in you. There is still hope for you. There is still a future beyond what you can see right now. Your struggles may have been painful, but they are not wasted. Every tear you've cried, every battle you've faced, every mountain you've had to climb, it has all been preparing you for something greater. Sometimes the very things we wish we could erase from our past are the things that shape us into who we were meant to be. The struggle teaches you resilience. The pain teaches you compassion. The setbacks prepare you for the comeback. So don't let your struggles make you believe you are not worthy of joy. Don't let your past convince you that you can't have a future. Don't let the weight of what you've been through make you forget the strength that's inside you. You are not your struggles. You are so much more. Every time you feel unworthy, remind yourself that you are loved. Every time you feel broken, remind yourself that healing is still possible. Every time you feel like your mistakes define you, remind yourself that grace is greater than guilt. Every time you feel stuck in your past, remind yourself that your story is still being written. This is not the end for you. This is not where your story stops. You have survived too much to give up now. You have overcome too much to let a struggle define you. Keep walking, keep believing, keep standing, because the best is still ahead. You have been carrying so much for so long. Holding everything together, being strong for everyone else, showing up even when your heart is weary. You push through exhaustion, silence your own needs, and convince yourself that rest is something you'll get to later. But what if I told you that later never comes unless you choose it? What if I told you that even you, yes you, deserve rest? Somewhere along the way, you may have learned that being strong means never slowing down, that if you take a break, you're falling behind, that if you pause, everything will fall apart. But that is a lie designed to keep you running on empty. Even the strongest people need a moment to breathe. Even the most resilient hearts need a place to lay down their burdens. Even you need rest. There is no weakness in stepping back. There is no failure in admitting that you are tired. The world has taught you that rest is a luxury, something you have to earn, but rest is not a reward. It is a necessity. Just as your body needs sleep to function, your soul needs rest to heal. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give your best when you are constantly running on fumes. You cannot carry the weight of everything and expect to stand forever. Rest is not just about sleep. Rest is about laying down the things that have been weighing on you. It's about releasing the pressure to have all the answers. It's about allowing yourself to breathe, to exist, to be. Not as someone who has to fix everything, but as someone who is worthy of peace. When was the last time you truly rested? Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be still without feeling guilty? When was the last time you gave yourself permission to pause, to heal, to simply be? You've convinced yourself that you have to keep going, that if you stop, everything will come undone. But can I tell you something? The world will keep spinning even if you take a moment for yourself. The people you love will still be there even if you choose to rest. The responsibilities will still be waiting, but you will face them with renewed strength if you allow yourself to recharge. Rest is not selfish. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is a divine invitation to step away from the noise, from the expectations, from the endless demands, and to simply be still. To remember that you are more than what you do, that your worth is not tied to how much you produce, that you are valuable even in moments of stillness. If you keep pushing without rest, you will break, and you are too precious, too important, too necessary to burn out before your time. So breathe, let go, step back, choose rest not because you have earned it, but because you need it, because you deserve it, because even the strong need a place to lay their burdens down. You were never meant to carry it all alone. You were never meant to live exhausted, drained, and empty. You were made for more than survival. You were made for peace. You were made for joy, and today you are allowed to rest. It's hard to keep believing when nothing seems to be changing, when you've prayed, hoped, and fought for so long only to be met with delay after delay, when you've given your all and the breakthrough still feels out of reach. It's exhausting to keep holding on when everything in you wants to let go. But what if I told you that you are closer than you think? What if I told you that everything you've been waiting for, everything you've been working toward is just on the other side of this moment? It's easy to believe that because you don't see movement, nothing is happening. But things are shifting in ways you can't yet perceive. There is work being done beneath the surface, alignment taking place behind the scenes. Just because you don't see it, it does not happening. Just because the door hasn't opened yet, doesn't mean it won't. Just because the answer hasn't come doesn't mean it isn't on the way. Waiting is the hardest part. It's the space between the promise and the fulfillment, between the struggle and the breakthrough. It's the place where doubt tries to creep in, whispering that maybe it will never happen. But can I remind you that every season of waiting has a purpose, that even in the delay you are being prepared. Sometimes what you're waiting for requires you to grow in ways you never expected. Sometimes the reason you haven't received what you've been asking for is because you are being strengthened to sustain it. You have already survived what you thought would break you. You have already endured storms that should have taken you out. If you were going to give up, you would have done it by now. But you are still standing. And if you are still standing, that means there is still more ahead. That means you have not come this far just to stop now. That means you are closer than you've ever been. It doesn't matter how slow the progress feels. It doesn't matter if you don't see the full picture yet. What matters is that you don't stop now. Keep showing up, keep believing, keep preparing for what you know is coming. Because breakthrough doesn't always announce itself with a loud entrance. Sometimes it comes quietly slipping into your life in a way you didn't expect. Sometimes you don't even realize you've stepped into the very thing you prayed for until you look back and see how far you've come. Don't let weariness convince you to quit. Don't let frustration make you forfeit what is meant for you. Don't let the lies of discouragement tell you that it's too late, that you've missed your moment, that you'll never get there. The very fact that you are still here, still hoping, still holding on, is proof that something greater is ahead. You are not forgotten. You are not being overlooked. You are being positioned, strengthened, and prepared. Every closed door, every delay, every setback, it's all working together to align you with what is meant for you. And when it happens, when the breakthrough comes, when the weight lifts and the way is made clear, you will understand why you had to wait. You will see that every moment was necessary. So hold on a little longer, trust a little deeper, keep moving forward even if the steps feel small. You are closer than you think. You are on the edge of something greater. The breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you'll know that every struggle, every tear, and every prayer was worth it. It's easy to look at where you are and feel like nothing is changing, like you're stuck in the same cycle, facing the same struggles, waiting for something, anything to shift. You've prayed, you've pushed, you've done everything you know to do, and still it feels like you're standing in the same place. But what if I told you that things are already moving? What if I told you that even when you don't see it, even when you don't feel it, breakthrough is already in motion? Life has a way of making you believe that because you don't see immediate results, nothing is happening. But change doesn't always come with an announcement. Growth happens in silence. Healing happens beneath the surface. The pieces are coming together even when you don't realize it. That moment of clarity, that unexpected opportunity, that divine connection, it's already aligning itself in ways you couldn't orchestrate on your own. You've been waiting for a sign, for confirmation that your struggle hasn't been in vain. But what if the proof isn't in what you see, but in what you've survived? The fact that you are still here means you are already winning battles you once thought would break you. The fact that you are still holding on means you have more strength than you realize. The fact that you are still believing means that hope has not left you, and where there is hope, there is still a way. Breakthrough doesn't always come in the way you expect. Sometimes it's not a sudden shift, but a gradual unfolding. Sometimes it's the small changes that you overlook, the way your mindset is shifting, the way your heart is healing, the way you are learning to trust again. Sometimes the real breakthrough happens within you before it ever happens around you. There have been moments when you thought you wouldn't make it, moments when the weight was too much, the battle too long, the burden too heavy. But look at you now. Still standing, still breathing, still hoping. That is proof that you are already walking in the direction of your breakthrough. It may not feel like it, but every step forward, no matter how small, is movement. Every decision to keep believing, every refusal to give up, every act of faith is setting you up for what is coming next. The enemy wants you to think that because things aren't moving fast, they're not moving at all. He wants you to believe that because you don't see progress, you're failing. But you are not failing. You are being positioned. You are being prepared. You are being strengthened for the very thing you've been waiting for. And when it happens, when the breakthrough finally comes, you will realize that every moment was necessary. Every delay had a purpose. Every battle was shaping you for what's ahead. Don't lose hope. Don't give up before you see the promise. Don't stop believing just because it's taking longer than expected. You have come too far to turn back now. The breakthrough is closer than it has ever been. It's already in motion, and when it arrives, you will look back and understand that every tear, every struggle, every prayer was worth it. Keep going, keep trusting, keep holding on, because your moment is coming, and when it does, it will be greater than you ever imagined. No matter where you are right now, no matter what you're facing, know that you are not alone. Help is already on the way, even if it doesn't look the way you expect. You are not your struggles, and you are not defined by your hardships. Your strength lies not in how much you carry, but in how you surrender, trust, and open yourself up to receive the support you need. Rest when you need it, believe when the road is long, and keep going even when the end is not in sight. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The struggle will not last forever. You are moving towards something greater, something that you can't yet see, but will one day fully understand. So hold on, keep your faith, and know that your story is still being written. The best is yet to come, and today is just one more step toward it. You are closer than you realize. Keep going in what you can see. Keep going, keep believing, keep standing. Today there is help, and that is enough.